Yep, let's start streaming before I sneeze again. Hey, hey, what the hell is wrong with me? Hello. Oh god, that was a stupid answer. Oh my nose itches a lot. Hey, it is I creo Saturno. Hello, is everything alright? Music is alright? Yeah, voice is alright? Perfect. Okay, nice. Where did I? Okay, here it is. Bam. One on Twitter and one on Blue Sky. Okay. That will. We're perfect to start. I don't know how to say it. Okay, before I continue doing stupid sounds, I think we have to start. I don't know how to speak, so forgive me if I make stupid sounds like an attempt to do human speech. Okay, where the epithelium bloom and the mist slowly rolls in. Within the bloody castle brews a conspiracy that could destroy everything. Wait. I did my deadliest. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Let's just jump in. There's 4 stages left. That should be 2 hours. Luckily, 2 hours. Uy, coffee's not it's not working. Uy, no. Beneath the boy's massive body lies what appears to be a network of low-temperature pipes and reaction systems. Some kind of liquid courses through them, maintaining a deadly equilibrium. I only realize when I look closer that the liquid is filled with what appears to be like flesh and tissue. The volume's body is the final destination for this flow of nutrient solution. An enormous round pit sits at the far end of the cellar, sinking straight down into the earth. The pit's walls are now covered in spiderweb-like cracks from Sextans explosions. When I look down into the pit, I realize that the space there is bent in some unnatural way. A faint flickering glow blocks my view of whatever lies inside. What a familiar sensation. Oh, I thought it was my screen that was dirty. And there are little glimmers around in the dark. For some reason, the closer I approach, the more disordered my thoughts become. Visions, they cross my mind. They don't belong to me. They belong to the countless souls that are arranged in a line before me, and my body is but a mere vessel that passes through, seeing them unfolding each passing moment. I'm done for. The acute infection, it's getting worse and worse. I can hardly catch my breath, but I worry that breathing too deeply will increase my intake of radioactive particles. I glanced down at the radiation monitor and let out a bitter laugh. It can't even display a specific value now. H35! Where on earth are you? If you're still alive, answer me! As I search the area, a beam of light suddenly emerges from the bottom of the pit. Wherever the light breaches the volume, the dimmed collapsed crystals embedded in its body light up. The light travels along its withered tentacles and through its flesh, surging through its whole body. The wounds left by the explosion slowly seal themselves shut and regain their shine where the light passes. The tentacles that had slumped paralyzed on the ground all rise at once, and with terrifying force gathered behind them, they lash on toward me. Ah, he's coming back to life! Colin, I haven't seen you in a while. Commander! Commander! Behind you! At Gross's warning, I draw my pistol and blind fire several rounds over my shoulder, then dodge another tentacle strike. The three volumes that charged in appear to have melted down by the tentacled monster. Their flesh, their plant tissue, their crystals, all of it has been absorbed into the enormous volume before me. And now, having absorbed all those nutrients, the tentacle volume fully recovers. Its body has become even larger than before. Commander! Commander, I ran a simulation based on this volume combat capabilities and our current circumstances. If we delay any further, our chance of a successful retreat drops below 10%. You have to make the call now. Kulukai, Grossa, I'll need you two to stay with me. I'll remain here and fight to the very last. Understood. I'll stay with you. Alright, Commander. Alba, carry out your team's duty. As you wish, Commander. This volume will be incredibly difficult to handle, Commander. We'll find a way to open a safe path for you. Please, go forth and do what you came here to do. Commander, do you remember what I told you? No, Peritia. Don't forget to ask me for help at that critical moment. I glance over at Peritia. She's lazily coiled around Krolik, who looks clearly unamused. Perhaps it's a trick of the light, but I think I catch a flicker of something familiar in one of Peritia's eyes. Oh, the yellow one? I'll do that if the situation calls for it. But my tongue is throwing me. Holy shit! What did it say? What did it say? We'll need to use whatever we have. And that's the last of it. Lower the blood tentacles HP. What the fuck is it shaped like a... We are not even 10 minutes in. I'm not going to say anything, but... What the... Oh no, I already cursed. Anyways. What was the name of that Dark Souls 1 boss? The Pale Dragon? No. Open Mouth Dragon, something like that, right? Well, this is awful. This is total body horror. Well, most of the things that have to do with volumes and collapse particles and all that is body horror. What do you mean, Sextans? Ha! Select one enemy target within one tile, dealing melee physical damage equal to 80%. But she can move. Here is my Sextans. Don't you even try to. Oh, she's an ally. Okay. I'll just do this. Stability broken. 50% of the blood tentacles max HP. Can I wait? Why this guy says concretion. Each stack reduces final damage taken by 1%. Considered above cannot be cleansed. Huh? What? And this is 99%. Stability greater than 0 points. Proliferate. All elite units, units that enter action within 3 tiles of these units are consumed. This unit recovers HP equal to 5% of its weight. And increases damage. Okay. Proliferate. Consume a unit with binding until the start of the next turn. After consumption is complete, you gain 5 permanent stacks of Proliferate. This elevates the attack but removes the damage resistance. Binding. Select the classes. Okay. Let's try to... I don't know. Do something? Because this thing appears to need to receive to do one of those attacks to lose stacks of the concrete. It's called something. The damage resistance. So what to do? Full damage. That's the only thing that I think that can help. Okay, 50% damage. Seva. And it's gone. The ground around me started splattered with a layer of volume tissue torn apart by gunfire. Compared to the Paradius labs I have broken into the past, in the past, this underground lab isn't really all that large. It looks even more cramped because of the huge volume before us. But after searching for tanks that would have held Helena's like the ones I found before, or some other hiding space, I failed to find any trace of H-35 after a thorough search. Suddenly, a tentacle tail slipped through the blanket of gunfire, cuts off my path. The volume tentacle raises its tip up high. It stops in front of me, and at the center of its palm-like end, its sleek, oily skin tears open. An eyeball stares quietly at me. What the? I don't dare make any sudden move. I can only meet its gaze in silence. Seeing me trapped by the tentacle, the dolls immediately move to help me, launching an attack on it. Driven back repeatedly by the overwhelming firepower, the volume seems to feel pain, or perhaps merely discontent, and lets out a low, muffled whimper. Come. Huh? He's trying to talk. Commander. Go. Commander. No, Commander. No, Commander. You don't understand. What I need is right there. A part of me, which is my other half, comes from the thing standing before me. That's right. Ah, music! That's right. Back in Lviv, Igla was the same way. Could it be that the volume is carrying Sextans? I allowed hesitantly. Sextans? As though the volume is struck by some kind of shock, it lets out a long, high-pitched wail of grief. Really? If that's the case, how do we get you out? Right, last time what we did was I pick up the comms device. Everyone, Sextans is still alive. She's currently fused with the Boyum and unable to control herself, so she might attack us at any moment. For now, do whatever you can to keep those tentacles pinned down. I'll think up a way to solve this. With the tactics laid out, each squad carefully carries out their assigned role. The Boyum rides and twists before me. His tentacles nearly seized me several times, and yet they always veer away at the last moment. I can feel that Sextans is doing her best to resist that invisible controlling force, but... Ah! Commander, get out of there, now! What? The Boyum's will is impossible to resist! The Boyum's will is impossible to resist. That's right, my own will, the will of Sextans, is about to be devoured. This is the consequence of being granted power that was never mine in the first place. Not having your base layer preset like other dolls does not mean freedom. That red heart within my body has long since announced the fate I can never escape. Even though, for the first time in my life, I felt that I tried working hard for the sake of others, even though I cast aside and erased my own frame, my own neural cloud. And still, I wasn't of the slightest use to the one I came to admire. Regret, sorrow, fear, and shame. I don't want them to see me like this. I don't want the commander to see me like this. Did I say my farewells properly in my final moment? Did the meaning I wanted to convey get through? Did I cause anyone trouble? Did I manage to express my gratitude? There is so much I regret. And it's precisely this regret that becomes the smell, the slender thread of safety, still tethering Sextan's self to this world. The sound of bullets striking my frame. That is, if this disgusting mass of tissue, made of these cells that are stripping my consciousness away, can even still be called a frame. My consciousness is blurring. I can barely keep this restless, writhing body under control any longer. The shame of being watched by the commander and the joy of realizing someone is still fighting for her sake tortures what remains of Sextan's self. A hit unlike any other scorches her soul from within. They are nothing more than people I met just a few moments ago. What would it matter if I killed them? As for the commander, all I have to do is hold on, and he'll surely find a way. A tangle of complicated thoughts, a heart torn between contradictions. If you submit, the pain will lessen. A voice rises within her cloud. If you want to become the most outstanding doll, all you have to do is act according to her will. Just like when you were born. Isn't it simple? Mother is always right. It's you again. Every single time. But every time you grow a little stronger, don't you? Don't you remember? Think of how the people who once signed agreements with you treated you like royalty. Think of how those weaker dolls bowed in submission before you. If you had stayed on that trajectory, the whole conglomerate would have fell within your grasp. Moving forward, you need only gather enough leverage, and you'd arrive at the destination set for you, wouldn't you? Have you remembered already? Those memories of the past? My past memories have been restored? That's right. It does seem like much time has passed. The neural cloud data from my birth were weaving into storage, ranging into scene after scene. No, that isn't storage. That's a brain. The initial trivial graft of data multiplied and grew without end. Born as a faint voice in her mind, it spread little by little to take root in every part of her until at last it became a brain commanding her whole body. Like August. It will eventually replace her neural cloud and become her personality, her thoughts, her memories, like August. And the consciousness named Sextans will be driven away into the darkest of corners. She has completed her reverse. Very good. Next, kill every one of these meddlesome pests in front of you. The Boyum's body suddenly splits open, exposing the pale spine within. It begins to flush with a sinister blood red from bottom to top, as if countless blood vessels were dilating beneath its skin. The next moment is akin to a volcanic eruption. Hundreds of tentacles burst forth from its body, from the ground, from the walls, from every crack and crevice, surging towards me like free-flowing lava. Is there no escape? I am surrounded by tentacles in an instant. The sleek, viscous feeling wraps around me, making it nearly impossible to breathe. The adults scramble to coordinate the deployments of the comms channel, trying to carve out a path to survival for me. There are too many tentacles. I can't break free right now. Is there nothing I can do? If this gives up. As the tentacles wrap around my body, they begin to multiply, seemingly wanting to assimilate me too. The protective suit is torn open at one spot. The collapse radiation alarm begins flashing fiercely in red. But since I'm right next to the giant's volume's mouth, radiation is the least of my immediate worries. Was Sextans unable to endure? It looks like we have no other means to change the outcome. Commander! Melanie? No. That voice? Although it's similar. It isn't Melanie. Could it be Helena? But... It's so hard to breathe that I can't think clearly. There isn't much room for thinking anyway, being in my position. A rain of machine gun fire sweeps the volume, using the wall as a launch point. Peritia leaps into the sea of spreading tentacles, landing beside me. Commander! Commander! Peritia, how did you... Commander, from now on, please don't ask why. What? Peritia doesn't answer. Instead, she seemingly makes up her mind about something, giving me a firm nod. The power remaining in me has its limits, so we only have one shot at this. Now, please grip my hand tightly. Close your eyes and follow where fate guides you. So what kind of power does this cat have? Three notes. We are barely 22 minutes in. Oh, whoa, we're already on the door. I don't know where I am, but it appears that I am no longer inside the red zone. If this really is Peritia's doing, then her power is way more awe-inspiring than what Sir Yendors can do. I feel as total things lie prostrated beneath my feet, while I myself rise endlessly upward until I reach the highest point of it all. Not far ahead of me is the figure of a child facing away from me. Helena? Or Melanie? I try to run towards her, but someone behind me holds me back. Neither, actually. Peritia? You? Peritia smiles and shakes her head. Commander, the we that exists right now cannot yet save her. Cannot save her? You mean to say that she's age 35? Peritia's natural understanding of the situation leaves me speechless. Peritia, how do you know about age 35? Perhaps I overheard your conversation with Melanie. Is that so? Wait, but back then? Commander, we are short on time. I almost choke. Well. Commander, we are short on time. Let's focus on the problem in front of us, shall we? You're right. I forced my curiosity down. She's here to help, after all. And by now, I am well aware that the miracle she created is by no means easily replicable. I trust you already worked out how volumes are formed, have you? They are a new product of Paradius experiments. It's not a full picture. Volumes were born through Paradius modifications. They are another partial form of an organism. As for the Helenas, they control them through a connection no one fully understands. The one we face now has grown extra powerful thanks to the special energy provided by H55. Special energy? Could it be? I believe you already made the correct hypothesis. Yes, it's power from that other side. So Paradius truly did tread farther than ever before. No wonder that woman we met seems so confident. Indeed. She's merely the inventor of Surgeon dolls. She's also the architect of the whole biological system, and the teacher who created the Helenas. The energy that gives rise to the pulses, the sacrifice, the medium that bears nirvana, the grail, another grail, and the anchor point that activates the relics, the key. Fucking hell, not again. This happened 10 years ago. The Grail, Sextans, the key, Ataraxis, and the sacrifice, H35. So volumes are a medium that may bear nirvana. It's actually the reverse, but volumes are indeed one of the very few things that can actually form a connection with nirvana and mutually affect each other. Because of its inherently illogical nature, volume cells cannot be killed by human hands unless completely destroyed physically. But an exception exists within nirvana. And the only way to save Sextans is to sever the umbilical cord connecting the anchor points to the medium. Right now, that girl is preparing to cut the umbilical cord that feeds the volume. It's unfortunate, but this is the only way to save Sextans. Then what happens to H35? You told me earlier that we can't save her. Are you sure our only choice is to abandon her? There must be other way. If I am not the one here, perhaps there would be. Unfortunately, this is all I can do with my power. In fact, I'm afraid I won't be able to pull off something like this again for a long time. However, if you can wound that volume severely enough, it will fall into a state of weakness. That way, it won't be able to harm the girl any further. That is a form of rescue too. Is that something you can accept? Can we just kill it outright? That's almost impossible. This one is simply too large, and the combat strength we possess is simply not grand enough to physically destroy it. That is why the girl wants to cut the umbilical cord. Sextans will be separated from the volume once that happens. Then we'll only need to rescue her, just like what we did before. I still have enough power to protect you from being eroded by the volume cells. Please act quickly once we leave this place. Commander, I'm leaving this in your hands. After Perita finishes her sentence, I think for a moment, finally realizing what the dog has been telling me. Wait, Peritia, did you get all this intel from the estate tech? No. You didn't? You? Who exactly are you? Commander, I'm nothing more than an ordinary doll. I do carry within me a certain particular yearning. Yet, in the end, I still cannot understand her will. Her will. But at least, this wisp of power that remains can help you escape your present plight, and ensure that the girl won't have any more of her life force drowned out by that volume. I never understood why she chose me. But perhaps she did so for this very moment. Commander, you're a man beloved and longed after by God, you know. Now then, let's begin. The scene before me gradually glows clearer. Beside me, Peretti smiles as she takes my hand. A warm power flows through my palm. The volume cells stop trying to erode me the very next moment. All the wildly thrashing tentacles freeze in mid-air. Even the eyeballs freeze motionless. I can tell that this volume, which was bearing its fangs at Peritia and me not long ago, had developed an emotion it should not possess toward us. Fear. I scramble to my feet and draw the tactical knife from my belt. The blade, which once gleamed silver, has somehow taken on a tinge of deep blue. Oh! Now it's a silver weapon +1. Cover me! Beneath the dense drumming of gunfire, Peritia and I move past the tentacles riding frantically toward us, until we stand beneath the volume's enormous body. The tentacle-tipped eyeballs no longer stare down at me. They squint and narrow, rising up a frenzy alongside the tentacles they are attached to. Commander, do it now! Damn it! Let's send this! I raise my knife high and plunge it into the volume. A sense of resistance greets the blade. Feels like I'm cutting through thick rubber. I throw all my strength into the hilt and pull it downward. Ah! My voice and the volume's low, muffled shrieks mixed together, echoing through the castle basement. The blade tears downward, ripping through the volume's skin to create a horrifying crimson wound. Unlike a normal cut, it seems seared by a fierce blue flame, immediately filling the air with a nauseating stench of scorched flesh. The volume's enormous body suddenly curls into a ball, twisting and convulsing. From somewhere within it, a sharp, scraping sound arises, like a styrofoam being rubbed together. They slump to the ground right after like wet mud. The blood-red color drains from the tentacle tips, fading into a lifeless grayish white. The eyeballs roll across the floor, swiftly burning away into a wisp of empty ash. Sextans. Sextans' eyes are tightly shut. Perhaps the umbilical cord was severed. Her body is no longer attached to the volume tissue, sliding out of it like an innocent newborn. We have to retreat. I hoist Sextans up with the last of my strength. God thinks she's much lighter than usual, with most of her limbs heavily damaged. But it supports my stumbled form as we run towards the lab exit. When I turn around, the tentacles begin to gather and launch at us in a frenzy. I can almost feel its cold mucus dripping onto the top of my head. Commander, duck! I immediately duck to the side. A grenade grazes past my scalp, exploding less than 10 meters behind me. With a boom, a splash of mucus sprays onto the back of my head. Makes me glad that I'm still wearing the protective suit. Commander, go left! Lucas' voice comes through, and Peritia and I immediately turn. Zzz. The sound of an electrical short circuit is heard. Right after, I sense a ominous movement in the ceiling above. Faster! Consider for a moment that I'm a human! You aren't that weak! I want to throw back a retort, but still, I pour out every last ounce of strength I can muster into picking up my pace. I'm truly glad I did so until the very next moment. Because of the electrical short, a heavy metal panel comes crashing down, pinning the chasing tentacles that had been the closest to me. Almost there! We mustn't get the commander! Alba provides covering fire as Waymaster rushes to us. With both hands, she pulls Peritia and me onto the steps. The door that was torn off can no longer be closed. All we can do is keep running towards the hall's exit. Team Grossa, having brought Melanie to the safe exit point long ago, immediately moves to meet us when they see us approach. I'm sorry, Melanie. I couldn't save that girl. No, Commander. I sensed her feelings. She told me that. She thanks you and looks forward to the future where... Commander, get over here! Grossa stands guard at the door and her hand already on the lever beside the hall's main doors. The instant we step into the hall's vestibule, she pulls the brass lever. The steel door slowly descends. After some splattering sounds by the tentacles slamming against the door, our surroundings finally return to a peaceful silence. It's been a while since I had to sprint while carrying weight. Oh, look, I was just like a drill instructor at school. I lower Sextans down, then sit next to her, gasping for breath. Her eyes are tightly closed. She lets out pain moans, seemingly still unconscious. Commander, there's a tear in your protective suit. Please let me help you do some emergency repairs. Alright. I no longer have the strength to move. I slump into place and let Alba tend to me. She takes out repair tape and seals the breach into the protective suit. We are still in enemy territory. There is no telling what could happen. We need to leave as quickly as possible. Commander, you find it hard to move right now. I can carry. No, it's fine. If you can, could you carry Sextans instead? Commander, don't mind me. Destroy me. Run, hurry. I'm about to hand Sextans over to Mastina when her eyes suddenly open. She looks at me with despair. There's another one. Beside me. It's my curse. I don't know why it's quiet now, but this is your only chance. Hurry, please, leave me. You have already saved Sextans. Thanks to Superiority and H35, that thing will no longer trouble you. Now, we can finally go home. Let's go back to the Elmo. Home? The Elmo? Do I still have a place like that? That's right. If Ataraxis says this place is her home, then the Elmo is your home. I nod to Boy Mastina, signaling for her to help. Boy Mastina dips her head silently, then hoists Sextans onto her shoulder. Her concern is well founded. We can afford to linger here any longer. We are not only facing the threat of an enemy attack. My body too seems to have reached its limits. There are still so many mysteries to resolve, and so many questions I want to ask. But I think we will have to wait until we get out of this place. Alright, everyone. Quickly check your gear, then we'll move out at once. Tap, tap, tap. Beneath the moonlight, light footsteps approach from afar. The dolls and I stop organizing our equipment and then turn our gazes towards the end of the corridor. It's Archer. Why? How are you still alive? She is harder to kill than roaches, damn it. The only saving grace is that she's cute and that she's voiced by Reina Ueda. The tragedies will eventually end, but no sacrifice will be taken for granted. Lament! However, the whole world shall collapse and everything will happen again. Ooh. Dartur. The girl's parasol blocks the moonlight pouring down, shrouding her in a flower-like shadow. She lowers her gaze at Sextans, currently draped over Boy Master's shoulder. Her lips form a cruel smile. Is this how you celebrate your rebirth, Sextans? That, sure. How unsightly. To think you were placed ahead of the rest of us, favored by Mother, yet became such an ungrateful thing. At least she followed her own will, making a choice that was truly hers. Whereas you, Dartur, are still nothing more than a puppet, and dancing to someone else's will. A puppet? You can defy your mother's commands, so your only choice is to rush here and clean up the mess, no? Commander, you always imagine things to be simpler than it truly is. I came here not because I was bound by anyone's command. Mother never issues any forced orders to us either. We are always loved, always cherished by Mother. And this extends to even that same Sextans. That was exactly why you had the chance to escape with your lives, carrying that thing with you. But I am different. I hate traitors. How can you betray Mother? Why would you think I let you go after you betrayed our creator? She lifts her eyes away from Sexton's face. Alright, enough idle talk. I'm guessing you have no intention of handing Sextans over to me. People like you always come charging in, talking about the power of friendship and bonds and whatever's on your lips. What a pity, really. Time to bury the rest of you with her. Darted under the moonlight. There. Stronger than before. Ah, Miss Grossa. I shall call you that for now. Your courage in facing me after going through all that is quite admirable. In truth, after spending some time with you, I have started to like that personality of yours. But, spending some time with you. Oh. Foreshadowing! Which is why I do not enjoy what I will have to do to you next. However, I was thinking, would ending you right here mean that you won't have to face the suffering to come? What madness are you spewing? What? Crowley, you can say the R word in the on the stream. She's trying to distract us. Be careful, everyone. Which of these do you think is the truth between the image in the light and the invisible true nature in the dark? OTS 14? Sexton's here. Well. Got a one-shot here? Yep. And there we go. Boy Mastina, she's heading your way! With the light turned off Darthur's wrist, the parasol canopy manages to block the bullets fired at her back. The bullets, powerful enough to punch through steel, roar like a downpour hitting ground upon meeting the parasol. Then slide off limply, making clinking sounds on the floor. She bends down slightly on the other side of the parasol. Then she leaps from a crouching position. Boy Mastin opens fire without the slightest hesitation, aiming to drive Darcher back with overwhelming firepower. Her parasol is both the sturdiest shield and the sharpest spear. But if she can break through horse racing gunfire, her hands won't be free enough to attack. Team Grossa, support Boy Mastina! The double gunfire roars through the whole room. But when the smoke clears, we find that Darcher has already arrived right in front of Boy Mastina. How? The parasol had folded shut at some point, now transformed into a block assault rifle. Darcher makes no move to evade. She takes every bullet Boy Mastina fires head on, riddling her frame with horrifying bullet holes. But the muzzle of her weapon had long since been trained on Sextans. No! A single gunshot rings out softly, jarringly sharp interlude between bursts of gunfire. Darcher, you! Oh, the background turned grey, reddish grey. No one can betray Mother. No one! I won't allow it. Not even you, Sextans. Sextans completely loses consciousness. The bullet has bored straight through her chest, leaving a black hole dripping with blood. Have you gone mad, Darcher? What good does this to you? Good? I don't know either. Come to think of it, it's true. There really isn't any, but still, I can help myself. Anyone who looks down on Mother cannot be forgiven. That's simply how I think. So, what about you, Commander? You went against Mother. What good does that do to you? Going against us, getting yourself turned into something neither dead nor alive by the radiation. What good does that do you? She's nothing more than one more individual who chose to align with evil. I looked toward Arthur when our gazes met. I strangely do see a trace of understanding on those hate-filled eyes. See, your fixation with your sense of justice has carried you all the way here. So, never underestimate the power of obsession. Prepare to embrace your destruction with your blind obsession. You and that mother you gave, speaking of. Prepare yourselves. I will erase every last one of you Paradius freaks. Oh my, how scary. I'm so scared. But I beat it off. You won't be able to do it, Commander. And as for why? That's because Mother is a great existence, who has seen through fate itself. Arthur falls backward into the crack that has split open in the center of the floor. A violent quake erupts in the reception room, even more intense than the one during our arrival. Commander, grab my hand! Grossa supports me to prevent me from slipping onto this increasingly tilted floor. The ash-grey-haired Paradius dolls swarm in front of everywhere once again, in double the numbers we encountered before. Ah! They chant some kind of incantation in unison, like a infernal morning prayer before the break of dawn. Commander, we lost control of the electronic systems. Every exit in the building is closing. Looks like some kind of emergency mode has been triggered. Everyone, the route you just received in your terminal is the only one with a chance of escape. Got it. Alba, confirm the escape route. Grossa, let's work together to hold off the dolls behind us. Received. On the route map clock I sent, the castle main doors have long been sealed. Our only way out is through the other side of the reception room, across the outer courtyard, and down the spiral staircase of a tower on one side of the castle. Up ahead, Alba and Petite cleared the obstacles in our path, while Boy Mastina kicks open the locked iron door, allowing us to swiftly escape the cramped reception room and arrive open upon the open ground of the outer courtyard. Tufting Grossa fights desperately to hold the line behind us. The Paradius dolls remain in relentless pursuit. The intense scaling intent radiating from their expressionless faces makes it nearly impossible to link them to Nemesis, who shares their appearance. And those Paradius dolls, where on earth did they even come from? If we make it back, I'll ask Nemesis again, and see if she remembers anything. We will definitely make it back. The gunshot from my pistol drowned out my pounding heartbeat. One of the bullets pierces through her head. The already battered Paradius doll falls backward, falling over the wall behind us with a drop more than a dozen meters high. Commander, over here! The two dolls standing guard atop the tower are unable to withstand the Defi's onslaught. They are quickly rendered incapable of combat. Commander, hurry! The gate inside is about to close too. There is 1 minute left. Don't get bogged down fighting them. Get into the tower first. The gate is about to close. Oh, parallels. After confirming that the interior is safe, I set Melanie down on the steps and screamed inside myself. The tower spiral staircase is narrow and steep. The air thick with a cold smell of aged dust and stone. The surrounding walls are thick and solid. They are part of the building fortifications after all. Tough maintenance is long overdue for the stone steps underfoot. They can still bear everyone's weight. Small bits of stone occasionally roll down the steps and we step on them. falling all the way into the depths of the tower. The steps here are somewhat slippery, everyone. Be careful. Ah! Melanie! Govne tries to grab Melanie, but her outstretched hand grabs only empty air. Melanie tumbles down alongside the crushed bits of stone that she stepped on. Amit! Melanie! What I feared did not happen, and the reassuring voice comes through the comms. Commander, I caught Melanie! Thank goodness. Doris, get Melanie to a safe place first. Understood, but... Wait, that's... Oh no, Doris, get out of here! Get out of there, quickly! The sound of falling, crashing metal comes from beneath her feet. Doris, Melanie! What happened? Are you two alright? No connection. Commander, Melanie and I are both fine. But the force of hacking triggered the security mechanism here, causing the wiring to lock down completely. We cannot unlock it unless we have a key or permission to disengage the lockdown. Hacking will take time. What's more, that mechanism also set off a small explosion at the gate near the bottom of the tower. That gate is now blocked by rubble. What happened with the gun that 404 had in... What was the name of the event? The first big double event. Ah! I forgot. Let me check quickly. Where is it, the wiki? Events. Aphelion, that was it. The big freaking gun. Well, that wouldn't work here because I need to charge it and it's a big freaking railgun, so... I'm afraid... What? Does that mean we can't even activate our explosives? I'm afraid so. The tower, one of the defensive fortifications of this ancient structure, has only two entrances. One above, one below. There's another window in the walls, but those are so small that only a single hand can fit through them. Since the lower exit is now sealed off, we are all trapped inside this solidly built tower. Damn it! We just have to clear the rubble by hand. Commander, hold on. I'll get those stones cleared ASAP. The situation has grown so dire that there is no room even for silence. So someone must step forward in the next moment. Only then can the script keep moving forward. We all already know the ending of the story, but the journey is woven through real sacrifice, blood and tears. What are you going to sacrifice? Is still Luna speaking? Come on. Oh no. A shell cannot wrap a heartbeat. Sharp shards, mirror dreams, memory. Nemesis! Nemesis, don't! You bastard! What are you doing? Let go! Let go! Oh, let's go. Huh? After Nemesis shows Krolik, the last one is still outside with her into the tower. The door slams shut with a bang. Our demolition setup, which has gone dark due to the security lockdown, comes back online. I don't know how things turn out this way. Or rather, there are still so many questions I want to ask. But all that answers me is the overwhelming tremor and the deafening sound of explosion. Nemesis! Ultimate betrayal. Holding fast and breaking fate both require courage. Jumpscare. Big Helen jumpscare. Empty shadow. At the very edge of your vision, her hollow form appears once again. Her? The next day. Millie, let's begin. All right. Melee no longer trembles in the ops room. She grips the handheld terminal so tightly that her knuckles turn white. The casualty list for this mission is laid out in detail in the center of the screen. The squads that stayed behind to guard the helm sustained relatively light injuries. Their frames can be repaired by replacing parts. Besides that, Hell's Dura Cloud suffered minor damage. Data recovery will be performed during her next routine maintenance. Among field personnel, for the force, losses and injuries were relatively minor. The fight losses were mainly ammunition and equipment. They say that they do a detailed list once they go back, so it's not itemized by for now. Melin pauses. She does her best to make her voice sound normal. Lastly, the squad with the most severe losses, Team Grossa, Leader and Crowley are at 30% frame damage. They are currently in the repair pods awaiting repair. Lastly, we have Nemesis. Status missing. The ops room sinks into silence. To be honest, I no longer remember much of what happened after that day. While waiting for rescue, the shock of the explosion gave me a mild concussion, and prolonged exposure to collapse radiation rendered me unconscious for some time. I'm told that we were rescued from the tower by 404 not long after the explosion. We discovered that the castle and entire courtyard had been blown to smithereens. Team Gross and Squad 404 escorted Melanie and me back to the Elmo first, while Alba, Boymaster, and Periti stayed for some time near the castle, waiting for the fire from the explosion to die down before making a preliminary assessment of the situation. According to the report, the several bits of those Paradise dolls got mixed together after the explosion. They couldn't identify which of them was part of Nemesis' frame. Once they have some R&R, they will conduct another in-depth investigation of the area surrounding the old castle. We have decided to put Nemesis as missing for now, at least until her frame can be conclusively confirmed destroyed. How is Sextans doing, by the way? Is there still a chance for her to wake up? Sextans' current condition is beyond what I can handle, so for now, I have handed her over to Miss Dandelion. Let's just leave it to her then. Melene's understanding of Syrian dolls is limited. All we can do is to wait and see if Dandelion can do anything. Still, we did bring back her frame, so there's always hope that she might wake up. After that, each squad that took part in the mission gave their own mission report. The documents Kolvner brought back from the castle rooms have been fully analyzed. We obtained some data on Darkshore, and the same for a doll under the codename Juno. Juno? In Bluesphere? No, Bluesphere might be Neptune. Or something like that. But Juno is a... Was it the goddess of... of fertility or something? Or the goddess of the... wait, let me... Google... Protector of... Oh, Hera. Protector of marriage and birth, equivalent to Greek Hera. Damn! So... Same for the doll under the codename Juno. This might be Cocoon. The contents indicate that both dolls had recently returned to that castle for frame maintenance. Although we don't know why they did so, it must have been connected to Sextans' rebirth ceremony. Perhaps Darkshore abnormal behavior is actually connected to this chain of events. I also managed to confirm many things previously unknown through this mission. First, regarding Paradise activities. After I shot William dead, new individuals keep rising within Paradise, taking over and attempting to continue the research he had conducted back then. Chilovic is not alone. Until Vivi incident wasn't some aftershock from 10 years ago, but an entirely new proof attempt by Paradius. Second, I initially thought that Sergeant dolls were merely employed by the conglomerate, but now it seems that things aren't that simple. The conglomerate and someone within Paradius appear to jointly hold authority over them. Perhaps the specifics will only become clear once Dandelion finishes dealing with Sextan's situation. Still, we now know that Paradius and the conglomerate are fully in leagues with one another. We could even say that Paradius is ambitious enough that they'd swallow the conglomerate whole if they could do it. You can tell from the degree of the Syrian dust shock all over the conglomerate that they have clearly been working on this plan for a long time. Lastly, regarding the Helena project. Melanie told me that the Helena designed as H-35 as a test subject is currently heavily involved in Paradise experiments. My failure to rescue her is my biggest regret. I was so close to her back in that one moment. But now that I think about it, what troubles me greatly is that strange feeling I had when I approached where she was. I remember feeling something like that back in Lviv as well. There may be subtle differences between them, but I'm quite certain that it's the same kind of thing. Commander? Commander? The meeting is over. I lift my head. Only then do I realize that everyone in the ops rooms is staring at me. I wave my hand to let everyone leave, while I myself remain sitting motionless in the chair. Right. Peritia, may I have a word with you? Sure. After everyone gathers their documents and leaves the ops room, I gesture for Peritia to sit down beside me. Surely you have much to ask me. Much to ask me. Your thoughts are quite unsubtle. You're right, but I don't know where to even begin. Let me water. A little bit of refreshment. Then why not start with the special abilities I displayed? That should be what you are most interested in, no? Are you willing to talk about it? Then let's start there. We don't really have any other choice anyway. Commander, if we are talking about choices, I have to say that you have so many choices and options in your hands. Did you always choose the path that leads towards the future? You are an incredibly kind person. I think that is probably why the world chose you. So what? No, I don't remember the. One of the events that I less remember is the Cartesian Theater. So I need to read that again. I need to read chapter 13.5. Reread chapter 13.5 of the original one, and Cartesian Theater, the Garden of Forking Paths, and the train, the longitudinal train. Strain. The world chose me? Sawardo. That's right. It's exactly what you think it is. After all, though I'm the anchor point for her descent, even I am still not qualified enough to know her name. But you are qualified to know everything. And thus, at this very moment, I sit here beside you. I fall silent again, waiting for Peritia to speak. I don't know why you choose me. Perhaps it's because my processing power is great enough to support her in weaving a dream. Perhaps it was a coincidence, or perhaps it was simply a fate arrangement. But in any case, she descended here, and upon leaving, she left behind a portion of her power. You already know that this is a power belonging to Nirvana. So you were able to temporarily suppress volumes because of it? I'm afraid that the me right now can no longer explain it to you well. What I can still say is that she does not permit volumes to enter Nirvana. And that the power of Nirvana is also one of the few existences capable of completely annihilating a volume. No wonder Paradise would study such a thing. So, there are still many questions I want to ask, but Peritia shakes her head. It's alright. There's no need to rush to understand the answers. If you wish to create the future, there must be something unknown to you. And precisely because of that, you can do what she cannot. I think it over for a long time, but in the end, I simply voiced my final request. Then would it be possible to... Perita seems to know what I'm about to ask and immediately shakes her head. I exhausted all the power she left behind while dealing with the situation we faced. I can no longer sense her. Though I will probably become her eyes again. I'm afraid I won't be able to guide the power of Nirvana for a long time. Unless she wishes to change something through me once again. Sorry, Commander. I cannot help you convey your thoughts and feelings to her. But please believe that everything is fate's arrangement. Please don't worry. Because when she bid me farewell, she told me that in a future not so far away, due to certain events, the two of you will surely meet again. And when the time comes, it will be her seeking help from you. Once that happens, she hopes that you, Commander, would hold her hand just as you did in the past. As Perita says this, she grabs my hand, as though passing something onto me. The warmth from her palms somehow feels more familiar than how her hands themselves feels to me. The two of us stay silent for a long while. There's one more thing I want to ask. About Nemesis. What did she say at the end? So it's about that. Indeed, I actually wanted to ask Nemesis some questions directly just now, but... I understand that you have some questions about her identity. Not just her identity, and there's also... I understand. I don't know the specifics myself, but she's a good kid. At the very end, she said that she would hack into the neural cloud of those Paradius dolls, and through them, take control of the whole castle's wiring and circuitry. Everyone will be able to escape that way. Was there anything else? That was all of it. After all, things were quite urgent back then, yeah? I know what you want to hear, but back then she really didn't have time to say something like, I'll definitely come back alive to find you guys. But not saying it doesn't mean she won't do it. So let's hold on to that feeling and pray for her together. To what god? A week later, Dandelion calls me to the maintenance room, saying that Sextans near the cloud is showing signs of recovery. When I hurry over, I see Sextans still inside the pod, barely maintaining the stability of her neural cloud data through the link Dandelion established. How is she? Oh my, her condition can only be described as super terrible. If she wasn't brought back in time, even the tiniest bit of her neural cloud data might not have been saved. Darture's final shot landed right on her neural cloud core. An absolutely destructive blow, no question. To be so ruthless towards her own elder sister. Looks like that child really does have a bright future ahead of her. Why on earth did she do it? Just to punish a traitor? Was there really a need to go that far? Don't underestimate a doll's sense of self. If someone achieves what you could not, jealousy will come naturally. Once such a heart of jealousy sprouts, grows and ferments, it grows into an abomination that even the individual herself can control. If we look at it that way, Syrian dolls are actually quite similar to humans. Commander, perhaps you two are envied by someone at this very moment. Someone with red hair who is working on a PMC. Who would envy a wanted fugitive with an official urgency bounty? All I can say is you underestimate yourself far too much. Perhaps the reason for your bounty is the reason for someone's envy towards you. For a moment, neither of us speaks. Finally, Dandelion turns her gaze back to Sextans. I said before that the Boyon Hoop can think rationally, only making instinctive reactions, didn't I? I have to retract that statement. Although Sextan's condition is dire, the Boyon within her body has become highly assimilated with Neural Cloud core, protecting her basic data from Dartur's ballet. I think this might be some kind of instinct. After a certain connection was severed, the Boyon within her changed in nature. It began to work solely for her sake. In any case, her Neural Cloud core is now being sustained by the Boyon cells in its place, and it can only be repaired by those Boyon cells themselves. Still, thanks to Darcher, she's now completely free of their control. If the conglomerate Paradis, some Boyon or whatever dialed her up, they'll just get static. On the flip side, however, since she lost much of her Boyon cells, she can no longer display the full power of a Syrian doll, even if we had a way to repair her frame. At most, she could perform at about the level of those twin dolls you captured in Mokosh. We're fine even without those cells. We are now in a position to repair a better frame for her. 7 frames won't work. I just say that her Neural Cloud is damaged, didn't I? Right now, her Neural Cloud is basically being run by the Boyon Hub in its place. Though there are large gaps when it comes to memory. Fortunately, we made a backup when we examined her before, so right now, I'm using that backup to restore as much of her memory as possible. As for how much can be restored, that will depend entirely on her own will. To sever the connection to the system you were born with, to no longer rely on anyone, to build a new self-consciousness by your own strength alone. It comes with an inevitable bloody price. All I can do is wish her good luck. By the way, doing all this cost me quite the time and effort. Who even remembered that I came here for a vacation? Thank you for your hard work. But I didn't quite catch that. You could say it a little louder. No, a little more generously. Commander. What terrible timing to wake up. You interrupted our lovely moment. Whose fault is it but yours for being so loud? Ignoring that the lions protesting, I woke up to the pod containing Sextans' switch on my comms. Sextans, how do you feel? I am back. Yep, you are back on Telmo. I'm so sorry. It's alright. If you can't remember the past, so be it. From now on, you're a member of Telmo. That's the only thing you need to remember. Oh, if only the commander will be so kind and gentle with me too. I understand. And also, thank you, Miss Dandelion. Huh? You noticed me? And here I thought I was quite discreet about it. You've been yapping. But doesn't that mean your Neural Cloud reconstruction was already going well enough? Well enough for you to perceive my presence? Looks like you can start ordering her missing parts, Commander. You don't have to throw her in recycling as per your plans. Dandelion. The joke wasn't all that inabbreviate for the timing, was it? Since you brought it up yourself, help me order the parts on the black market. Order received. Now the Lion's reaction goes dark. Only Sextans and I remain in the maintenance room. I don't know what I should say. Why don't you just get some proper rest for now? Sir, what's wrong? I press myself against the comms device, trying to make out Sexton's voice. You believed in me, and when you faced such a creature, you dared to use your human body to... Yes, I believe in you. Even though I cannot be loyal. I understand what you mean, Sextans. A doll who possesses full authority over herself cannot pledge loyalty to anyone through the form of a code imprint. Those two things are mutually contradictory. But it also means we can try trusting each other. Just like everyone else aboard the Elmo. But, my lord, I cannot serve you at my original strength. I am already useless. I'd give you a higher rating that you give yourself. You didn't just defy your own creator, you even defied the fates imposed upon you. And what's more, you successfully mastered the volume cells within your body. You proved to us that a Syrian doll is capable of changing her own fate. And it's also because of you that the mask of that woman was pierced, letting me know who I should be bringing down from now on. My lord, your life may have been relatively simple and straightforward in the past. They gave the orders, you carried them out. No need to question, no need to think. But from now on, you may have to deliberate on matters far more complicated. You must rely on the choices made by your heart. You must now start learning about this world the same way a human infant does. You won't know that fire is hot until you touch it. You won't realize that a path has ended until you walk into a wall. This process will be quite painful. Perhaps you'll also go through struggles, doubts, soul-searching and rebellion. But through this, you will discover a road never walked before. One that truly belongs to you. Of course, my understanding of adult technology is quite shallow. But I think that's more or less how the principle goes. You seem to be talking about a certain someone. No, I am not. I give Sextans a smile. So, right now, the you of the present is the best version of yourself. Rest well. I'll be waiting for you. As you command, my master. Darthur had not anticipated that she would wake up so soon. Also, she still remembers what happened in that castle at the end. She killed Sextans with her own 2 hands. Upon realizing this, Darthur shudders. It means that her neural cloud is still perfectly intact. This seems like a deliberate punishment. Darthur hurriedly shuts her eyes. Pretending to be asleep won't work, my child. But... Darthur tries to sit up, but she finds herself tied onto a gold machine. The parts destroyed by that 2nd-gen doll, as reckless and brutish as an old heavy-duty excavator, had all been removed, exposing clumps of tissue and densely packed wiring within, along with a large number of newly replaced modules. She had been repaired, yet Darthur's heart is filled with despair, because she did not want to appear before Mother like this. Damn it, that doll is nothing but an old relic from many years ago. Hatred towards the enemy flashed through Darthur's neural cloud for only an instant. That thought was quickly replaced by fear. Is there anything else you wish to say? Mother, I was being stubborn. I did something you did not tell me to do. But even so, Mother still gently repaired me. Is it because I have been forgiven? The commander... He wanted the prototype, severed the connection with H-35, and dug Sextans out. Having witnessed all of this up closely, Surely you must also have seen the power behind those actions. Come, tell me everything you know. All of it. I didn't see it. I see. I seem to have gotten my hopes up too high. Hearing Mother's sigh, Doctor feels despair and grief surge against her crumbling near a cloud like a raging tide. Clear liquid wells up from the corners of her eyes. I'm sorry. She can no longer make a sound. It is obvious Mother does not want to hear her excuses. Don't worry, I'm not angry with you. You have been a delicate child from the very beginning, Arthur. You have always been more sentimental compared to your sisters, and more greedy for emotional comfort and reassurance. Arthur struggles to look toward her, trying to avoid the tears pulling at her eyes. A scene from the past appears before her. Mother supporting Sextans, walking forward step by step. She was the first Syrian doll among them to be completed, assembled just a little earlier than her. Even so, Sextans received the most of Mother's love, or perhaps her only offering of love. Mother seems to treat Sextans as a prototype, as though she were a human girl, treating her as one would a daughter, though it was only for a dozen or so hours. Although she was probably only trying to test the effect of maternal love on Assyrian dolls near a cloud and the volume within her during the growth period. Those dozen or so hours were recorded in the near cloud of Darthur, who watched from the side. She watched how Mother carefully supported Sextans, how she gently taught her to understand the world, how she sang her a lullaby while she slept. Before she even understood who she herself was, Darthur came to know jealousy. If it were me, I will absolutely never betray. At least that traitor is already. Still, the next time you meet Sextans, bring her back as intact as possible. I'm very curious about the current state of her heart. I want to know if its nature has already changed. Mother, why would you say it was the traitor? And besides, she is already has been. Yes, I'm certain that you have destroyed her Nera Cloud. By the sun, her Nera Cloud had truly been completely annihilated. The volume heart within her body will immediately take over the Nera Cloud functions and control the frame, keeping her permanently fixed in another form. But that did not happen, did it? But the volume heart can connect into a computing process of the neural cloud like a biological nerve. It has a processing capability to an extreme degree. As of now, I have only partially realized this function in Cocoon. Since it is tightly fused with the neural cloud core, and since volume cells are capable of performing functions nearly as complex as what a brain can do, repairs to neural cloud core processes which are normally impossible, could potentially succeed. Of course, the potential chance to succeed is very low, but since she is now connected to that commander, it is best not to trust such probabilities, no matter how low they might be. This is not superstition, but my conclusion as a researcher. You will see Sextans again. Boy, back up. She will appear before me again? Arthur looked at Mother in shame. She had caused her so much trouble and yet couldn't seem to do anything right. For an instant, Arthur feels that perhaps she does not deserve any kind of comforting at all. But Mother walks over and strokes her head at the very moment. A gentle voice can be heard, singing that familiar sweet song, a song that had never belonged to Arthur. Go to sleep, my precious child. Rest in your cradle, warm and cozy. Every beautiful blessing, every happiness in this world, all of it belongs to you. The Archer closes her eyes in bliss. Although she knows that Mother did not sing out of love, she has never felt so content in her entire life. Then, boundless silence devours Archer, sinking her consciousness into a deep void. Mother stares with satisfaction at the transparent jar on the table, labeled STR 018247. That was Archer. A faintly screaming polymer mass lies inside it, shimmering with a dazzling light. Those were the Volume cells once active within Sextan's body, originating from the Volume prototype she used to grow Alcidian dolls. Nourished by a doll's cloud energy, it has now taken on properties and radiation wavelengths entirely different from Sextan's Volume other half. They had been excised by some kind of power, completely unholy. And what's more, they had been killed. This is her first time seeing a Volume truly die. Completely destroying Volume cells requires only high temperatures, but that is only a method to physically destroy them. Even she had never obtained a Volume this intact, a Volume that had ceased all biological activity too. Back then, she shouldn't have been carrying any weapons or methods known to me, or things I have never deployed within the laboratory. Even if the prototype can recover, the connection to that girl has likely been permanently severed. And in time, the great progress the prototype had achieved will also decline. The Sextans of present had become a doll not created by her. She had thoroughly attained freedom, and perhaps, in a certain way, became an entirely new individual. So you're capable of even such things, Commander? Fate truly does favor you very much. No. This is love. You truly are our most fearsome opponent. Task Force Defy. Contact attempt 7893. Requesting connection. Connection established. Mona? Why are you the one answering the call? Mona! Ah! Mona mentioned! A certain secretary has entered a period of radio silence for the sake of the upcoming big move, so the duty of communicating with you is now mine to take over. Alba, I read the log for this mission. Violent as ever, I see. Well, with Waymasting around, that sort of thing is pretty much unavoidable. Amontis comes channels too. Then take it as a compliment. It's a compliment from the security doll, you know. That carries real weight. She has become much more gyaruish than I remember. Besides, there really wasn't any option at the time. Thank you for understanding. Regarding the recent mission, did the organization have any feedback? Of course, I'm not rushing you, but this discovery is critical. I believe it can serve as direct evidence that Paradise has completely revived, and in fact, it is integrating itself into a larger, much more terrifying existence. I understand you, but it seems the higher-ups have something they are way more concerned about. Something they are more concerned about? But what could matter more than tracking down? I know, Alba, but this is what they want. I'm aware that it will pose problems for those who work on the front lines like you. But acting in accordance with orders handed down from above is precisely our duty. Alright. Then what are the orders from above? Continue the recon mission. Keep monitoring for any abnormal electromagnetic pulses. Doesn't really seem any different from before. Also, maintain contact with the commander and when necessary, relay information about the Alma back to the organization. Alba waits for a moment, but no further reply can be heard from the comms. That's all? That's all. Does that mean the commander is already safe? Well, it's at least a positive sign, isn't it? Alright. Although it doesn't seem any different from what we are already doing. We'll keep up our work since that's how the higher-ups want it. In any case, safety first. You too. The call ends. The Elmo travels onward through the boundless desert like it always does. Knock, knock, knock. Come in. Commander. What's wrong? Have you visited Helena? Yeah, Helena, she woke up for a little bit just now. I told her about everything we went through recently. Was she able to understand it? More or less. Although Helena doesn't seem to fully understand it, she understands more than I expected. That is a pretty impressive improvement. But Helena did tell me that while she was asleep, she also dreamed of the girl we were unable to save. I don't know why, but her ability to sense that girl seems especially strong. And she also said that the girl once informed Helena of her name. That girl. I remember she was called H35, wasn't she? No, not a designation like H35 or D668. It's a name, like a human name. A name just like the Melanie you gave me. I paused what I'm working on and looked over Melanie. Did she say what her name was? Helena said she forgot. No, that's not right. What she said was that's something she shouldn't remember. Shouldn't remember? I found this phrasing strange, yet it carries something that feels familiar. Commander, that girl seems somewhat different from us. I keep getting the feeling that she doesn't belong here. Melanie's scattered utterings gradually brought a certain idea in my mind into focus. If that memory exists only in my mind truly did happen. If the possibilities that Nirvana showed me really do exist, then at the other side of the world, those who are pulled by the thread of fate, could a reunion be possible? Do you think this means we still have a chance to save that girl? After all, Helena can still sense her, even now. We definitely will. If my conjecture is true, then she must still be alive somewhere in this world. Commander, I'm so sorry. It was only after going through this whole ordeal that I realized I've been talking about things that are really hard to achieve. I always had saving all the Helenas as my goal, but in the end, even just trying to save H35 was so difficult. But if I don't do it, more and more children will be trapped into the kind of suffering I went through before. Melanie. Yeah? You won't grow taller if you keep letting your mind run wild. Won't grow taller? I thought you and Helena shared the same genes, I remember. When we measured your heights last time, she was already 1 centimeter taller than you. How is that possible? I drank my milk properly too. You need to drink it straight from the source. Go and ask Helen about it. Melanie clenches her fist, looking at me in a huff, only to find an irrepressible smile spreading across my face. Commander, I knew it. You were lying. I'm not. It's true. If you don't believe me, go ask Mylene. I'll go ask Miss Mylene in a short while. If you don't want to lose to Helena, then don't keep dwelling on such things. Melanie, your priorities are to eat well and sleep well. Then grow taller and bigger as soon as you can. Only then you will become strong enough to fight the bad guys who do evil and save all the Helenas. Wouldn't you agree? I see. Alright. Now go and get ready for food. I remember that the menu today's got stuff you really like. Fried chicken and pizza. Okay, I'll go right now. Melanie waves goodbye to me and jogs out of the ops room. A collapsed storm had just passed. The long absent blue sky reappears over the yellow sun. Sunlight shines down upon the desolate land, day after day, as though nothing had ever changed. But some things do indeed quietly change. For instance, I finally decided to stop fixating on the chaotic past, to stop worrying over predicaments that had not yet happened, to stop excessively dwelling on the manipulations and maneuvers of powerful figures. I have finally decided to take a proving step forward towards the future. I know not of how far I can go up this mountain, but at the very least, if I must fall, I shall try for my remains to lay near the summit. I climb, that's how I live. Perhaps, or maybe not due to the change in my state of mind, I noticed that outside the Elmos window, in the ever unchanging desert, something I'd never seen before has appeared. A purple plant sways freely in the breeze at the far end of my vision. As the Elmo gradually moves forward, I suddenly realized that it wasn't a plant. I rolled my eyes. Nemesis! And she's back! Not even a whole event apart. She just comes back at the end of it. And the rest is for the next event. Ha! 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 Well, that was it. 1 hour and a half. Not bad. Not bad. So, holy shit. A lot of Nirvana, a lot of the volume thingies, and Sextans being the first Sergeant doll that apparently released herself from the shackles of her own programming. So, important things first. They said that Cocoon already had the Neural Cloud mixed, fused with the Volume Brain, Volume Nexus, and that helped her be an extremely good processing machine and excellent in electric warfare. So the thing is that they needed to do that to equal Helen's DP12 electric warfare capabilities. So damn. Helen wins another point. And Arthur is filled with hate, a lot of hate. the doll that, the Sergeant doll that, before even learning that she was a doll, she learned hate and jealousy. And other things, we still have Seiya in the Elmo. We still have Blue Sphere on the Elmo. And we haven't done anything with Blue Sphere. But we have already... If I remember correctly, we got Sextans first. We cleaned her. We fixed her. And then we sent her to... against Blue Sphere. And then we got Blue Sphere. But... that was like a lot of time ago, like before El Bib, before Mokosh, before a lot of shit. and nothing has happened of development with Archer. No, not Archer, Bluesphere. So we have Bluesphere and Seiya on the Elmo as Syrian dolls that hasn't been cleansed. We have Sextans that has been cleansed, that has been seduced by the commander, and that has lost part of her neural core and merged with the Boyum Nexus, so that she also lost Boyum cells, so she's less powerful than before, than a normal Syrian doll. So she's at the same. I think she said herself, or Dandelion said, that she was at the same level as Taya. Taya or Gaia, like the twins, but not at the level anymore of a Syrian doll. So, Orpheluna. Orpheluna. I need to know where the Cyan story is going, because after Iliad, after what happened in Iliad, God damn it. We need more information. But that isn't happening yet. Well, I need to search the translation for that event. So, yep. I'll end this here. I wanted to do. I was contemplating in doing the Sextans Bond stories, but I don't know. Maybe in the weekend, or next week, because there's probably not going to be much. Well, there's Arnights, the new event, but the new event is a big net, so I don't know. So I don't know what to do, what to stream next week. Maybe I'll just focus on my own projects. I don't know. But yep, that's it. I'll think about it in these coming days. So, thank you for coming, thank you for watching. I have been Agnes Eterna, and this has been Moonshroud Requiem and a Gears Frontline to Exilium event. Please leave a like, a subscribe, a comment, or whatever you seem necessary. Appropriate. Whatever you feel. Yeah. And I hope you come back next time. That's it. Goodbye. Oh yeah, GPG is dead. Glory to the Arknight's PC client. Eternal glory to the Arknight's PC client. Bye bye.